Alright, so today I wanted to talk about my favorite medium format film camera. Now, if you're looking for a medium format film camera, then maybe this will help you decide what to go with. There's a ton of options nowadays. Today we're going to be talking about this monstrosity, the Pentax 6.7. Now, if you want a camera that already looks like it has an underwater housing on top of it, then look no further. It literally feels like twice the size of any camera that you've probably held. And that's honestly part of the reason why I love it so much. So to give you guys some context, my name is Braden. I'm a film photographer and cinematographer based in Southern California. I've been shooting on film since COVID. During COVID, I picked it up as a hobby and in hopes to, make money off of it because I was doing weddings at the time. My first ever film camera was the Pentax K1000, and then I got a medium format Bokeh Square. I just didn't fall in love with the square format, the 6x6 format that the camera offered, and I loved the images that came from this camera every time I saw it on YouTube or Instagram. So I had to pick one up. For reference, I've had this camera 3 separate times. My first time was the first time that I bought the Pentax 6.7 off of eBay for like $400-500. That thing was a beast, but it was hit or miss whether the photos would come out after I had used it a lot. And so I decided to upgrade to a Pentax 6.7 II. I bought it from Japan in like mint condition, spent way too much of my savings on it, and honestly I didn't love it. It is a beautiful and amazing camera, especially if you're doing it professionally, but something about having the old 60s version of the camera just really spoke to me. And so I sold off the Pentax 6.7 II, took a break from the Pentax 6.7, and then I found a really good deal online. This guy was selling like 2 lenses and the camera for like $400, $500, $600, something around that range, and I knew I had to grab it. Now, to be honest, I haven't shot with this thing that much this year, and I really want to change that. So I'm planning on doing a few shoots this month to really practice a bit more with it, but I wanted to show you guys some of the photos that I've taken over the past few years with the Pentax 6.7 in hopes that maybe you're swayed to buy one yourself. Now, before I start showing you photos of junkyards and old cars like every other film photographer, I wanted to go over a few reasons why the Pentax 6.7 is such a good camera. First off, it shoots like a normal film camera. It shoots like a normal camera in general. A lot of medium format cameras, like the Mamiya 6.7 or the Bokeh Square, they're built like a cube, and a lot of the time you have to like look down, or they're kind of just built in different ways that allow you to shoot that 6x7 format, but they're not very user friendly in terms of what a photographer might be used to. So for example, if you're used to shooting a normal camera like a Canon or a Sony, you generally shoot like this, right? And so the Pentax 6.7 is built like any other camera that you would shoot with, right? Instead of having to look down and control the focus and look down at a viewfinder. Now, some people love the experience of shooting down in a viewfinder or using a square box, kind of like the Bokeh or the Mamiya 6.7. I personally have never liked it, and so that's why I love the Pentax 6.7. Second reason why I love the Pentax 6.7. This goes for any 6.7 camera, but the image quality is insane. Now, I know what you're gonna say. The image quality depends on how you scan it and blah blah blah. If we want to get technical about it, technically you could scan a 6.7 frame as high definition as you want or high resolution as you want. If you look at one of these frames from a 6.7 film camera, the frames are massive compared to 35mm or other films. And so shooting a size this big allows you to really scan at whatever resolution you want, and then the image quality typically comes out looking amazing, enough to blow up to billboards depending on how you scan it. The thing about these 6.7 frames is that there's minimal grain, so if that's something that you like, then definitely look into it. The third reason why I love this camera are the lenses. Now, everyone and probably your grandpa has shot on the 105 f2.4. This is a huge selling point for the Pentax 6.7 in general, just because it is one of the shallowest medium format lenses available these days. I have to say that this lens is an absolute beast when it comes to portraits. It's an incredible lens with such a shallow depth of field that I've probably missed focus more than you miss your dad. But honestly, if this 105mm f2.4 doesn't float your boat, they have other lenses such as the 90mm f2.8, which is pretty similar. They're equal to like a 50mm somewhat, and both lenses are beautiful. It just really depends on what your style is. Other lenses I have include the 45mm f4. This is a super wide lens, comes in handy for landscapes or kind of more close-up, in your face portraiture. And then my newest one is this 75mm f4.5, and I really haven't used this one too much, but the field of view is actually really nice. It's kind of in between the two that I have, so it's kind of like a perfect medium. Fourth reason why I love the Pentax 6.7 is the depth of field and bokeh rendering. Now obviously a lot of cameras are going to have this, and it also depends on the lens, but if you pair the Pentax 6.7 with the 105mm f2.4, the portraits that come out of this combo are insane. They really give a 3D look, as many people have described, and it really resembles large format film. And I'll probably get some large format film photographers being like, no, that's not even true. I don't care what you say, okay? To me, it looks similar. If you want to rage in the comments, I don't care. Subscribe while you're at it. Now that combo can get a little boring if you do the same composition for every single photo, which I have been a victim of, but ideally you would change up the composition and the combo still just looks beautiful. And I'll share some photos that kind of show off this combo. And then the fifth and last reason, before I bore you guys to death, is the cost, okay? This camera costs a lot less than other 6.7 cameras. Like the Mamiya 7 is a lot more expensive. The Pentax 6.7 would range probably between $500 to $800 right now, depending on the condition of the camera that you buy. I've bought from eBay multiple times and I haven't really had an issue with it, but if you want to be more intentional about it, I would recommend buying from somebody who is a professional photographer and has used the camera, which I have also done. And that's usually the most trustworthy way to buy cameras, or going to a camera shop, a local camera shop where you know that they've really inspected it and fixed it up. So those are the reasons why the Pentax 6.7 is so special to me. And Pentax is sponsoring me for this, so if you buy now, you can get a Pentax 6.7 for free. All you have to do is send me some feet pics. Those are some of the reasons why I absolutely love this camera. It does come with some downsides, such as it being super heavy. It's a bit clunky. Some of the photos don't turn out because of the shutter being so freaking big. Those are just some of the things, to name a few. But those are things that you learn to deal with and just actually turn out loving about the camera. I'm gonna show you some of the photos that I absolutely love that I've taken with this camera.